Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Elise Wilkerson, and I am presenting for the Project 2. Um, I really enjoy these videos. I really liked learning about the different types of projects and the impact that it makes on the children. I feel like projects go hand in hand with most of the things that they talked about. And I feel like after seeing the visual representation of what goes on in the classroom and how it affects the students and seeing them engaged no matter what the age, seeing how much more involved they seem to be because being in a classroom, just talking to the students, doing lessons the same every single day, it can become repetitive and the students get bored. So I think these projects ideas were super helpful. So I think some of the most talked about things in this video was classroom lessons, just regular projects, and community projects. In the first video, I'll talk about like just regular projects right now. In one video, the one about the about building empathy, it stated that hands-on projects are most engaging. Like I was saying before, when kids are hands-on, they are super involved and they are super like excited to get into it and get busy. Um, the teacher in this video stated some different facts about the process of how it should go, and it was first to have a game plan, second to brainstorm, third to problem solve with your students, and lastly to test it. I thought this was a good, just simple to the point way to do this and to get it thorough through your students. The next part that I want to talk about is classroom lessons. These were very helpful to watch to kind of see different ways teachers teach. The first one was about engaging all students. So no matter what their abilities were, is what this person was talking about. The way that this particular teacher did her daily thing was small groups and then big groups and then whole groups is what she said. And she stated that not one way to find a learning level for student. That stood out to me. I felt like that was very important, that there's not one particular level for each student. So I noted that and made sure that I would remember that for future references. In her lesson, there was 3 points that she gave. It was challenges. It should challenge the students at all levels. The second one was to be accessible to all students at all levels. And the last one was to balance the teacher directed instruction and student centered learning. I felt like challenge, accessible, and balance is super great to incorporate in your classroom. I feel like these things are so beneficial for all aspects of teaching and learning in the classroom. Moving forward, the next thing I want to talk about is community projects. I have always loved projects and getting involved with the community, so this really had my heart. So the first one was the video that I'm talking about was about finding solutions to hunger. And I've actually in high school done a project similar to this, so I really enjoyed seeing the way that they did it. The students learned something that really, really interests me and something that I've actually never heard of. The students learned with other students across the world. And by doing that, it was called I Earn. And I didn't get to look it up, but I plan to look it up and see kind of how that works. And it basically, the teacher explained that the students would just be sitting in class and the students would talk to the other students around the world and they would engage with each other and throw ideas and learn and talk. I mean, it was just like crazy. I was like, this is so cool. what they did was they wrote business letters about food, and um, they wanted to like get people involved with it and help the community. And this, something the teacher included in this was doing this not only helped that class and that project, but it also went back to health classes, it went to nutrition classes, it went to English classes, and it went to social study classes. So it incorporated all of these classes in one project. So you can have a project and it still relate to other classes. And I like the way this teacher thought in trying to make sure that the students were getting everything that they needed through all of their classes. So they weren't just learning about one particular thing. They visited food pantries and found ways to get others involved. And this was super good. The students would come up with ways and they would get ideas and they would help each other. It was super neat to do that. The next one was about world problem solving. They built models for the farm at school, their ag program. The students were super involved. They learned, basically, the teacher wanted the students to learn real life tools. He wanted them to be able to take home and remember for a lifetime the things that they used to build that farm and to help the farm and to make it look better. They were taught that whatever they wanted to do and whatever they had their mindset to, that they could do it. And I thought that was a great motivation for the students to be able to realize that they can do anything that they put their mind to as long as they do their best. So the next one is about service learning. And this one, they had the greenhouse and the students were in control of it. They planted them, they watched them grow, they produced them, they did all the things. The entire time, the teacher let them do it. Basically, they just managed them and made sure they were on track. And they actually used the produce in the school districts, and this was super. I really liked this. I felt that if the students can see the product of what they've done in their projects, I feel like that can make them more eager to learn and more understanding of the project, maybe, and proud of themselves, proud of their class. It makes them ready to be at school, come to school, because sometimes kids don't like to come to school. And I feel like this was a way to get them to come to school. So we need to make projects that students feel like, or anything in the class, or make it engaging and try to keep the students in class and want them to come to school. And one thing I noted that this teacher said was, any project or unit that takes required curriculum and finds application in the community is great. I just like this. I felt like that it was super good, and it just helped me just understand that projects were so efficient and the students loved them. So after watching these videos and taking some time to think about them, I just truly feel like this was super beneficial. I feel like at one point I was like, groups can be difficult depending on the age. But after thinking about it, I feel like groups can be beneficial for every single student. It might have to be broke down differently for younger grades, but overall, the students are more engaged, the students are ready to learn, and they just love coming to school to do the projects and seeing the outcome. And it all takes a teacher that loves their job and wants the best for the students. So that's kind of where I'm at right now with that, is figuring out projects that I can do with my students within the standards. So I hope everyone has a good rest of the week and a good night.